Welcome to this episode of the Public Nuisance Podcast. Coming to you from here, Killen Studios. One of my sponsors. Beautiful setup, Andrew. What do you think?
Unbelievable. So clean.
So clean.
Fresh. Never thought Ballyclare would be this clean.
It's a good spot.
First time ever in Ballyclare.
I know, it was my first time when I first came here. And
Yeah.
It's
small.
What do you think of it so far?
What do I think of it? It's a place. It's a place.
It exists.
That's nice. Sorry, the people in the coffee shop were lovely, weren't they?
Yeah, they give me a loyalty card.
Yeah, and she gave you like 5 stamps as well.
Yeah, sure.
And you only bought 2 coffees. Something going on there, like. That's what people at Ballyclare are like, innit? Dodgy as fuck, like.
It's the first sign.
First sign of something going wrong. 2 minutes later, they'll be up here going, "Hey, I got a bag. Can you carry a bag for me on a flight to Colombia?"
Fuck's sake, it'll be hitting the headlines.
Yeah, boxer Sean McComb caught smuggling
Coffee beans.
coffee beans out of Colombia into Ballyclare. Local gangs are furious. You know?
Oh, fuck, it'll be outrage.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
You, I normally see you on telly or something fighting or trying to get a fight on Instagram. Calling out boxers on
no one
Instagram.
wants to have it.
Did they ever reply, these people you call out?
They just fucking blanket. I think my last fight obviously was last April, which was a long time ago, and he just blanks me now.
I think he blanks you because he knows.
He has me
because you
blanked.
battered him, like,
Yeah,
and the judges. But is it when you're on an away? It's like when you're playing away from home and you're on their turf or whatever. You kind of not just have to win, but you have to win a bit extra.
Yeah.
You have to win well.
Yeah, you're probably starting a fight. You're probably a round or 2 down.
Why is that?
Don't know. Home favourite, I suppose. Judging. Like, the judges are probably from America or in around that, and they've probably got ties with his promotional company, Golden Boy, as well. So it's just boxing's a load of shit. To be honest.
It's a racket, isn't it?
There's an old saying we say I love the sport, but I hate the game.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Yeah. So what's the plan with you now? Because obviously, would you not get out to Saudi Arabia with all the lads out there now? Like,
I would love
have
to.
you got anything coming up?
Know what? I was trying to get on that show on the 1st of March in the SSE.
Yeah.
Lewis Crocker and Paddy Donovan, but I can't get a good enough fight to get on it. Like there's no real 50-50 fights in the UK for me at the minute because no one's they're either all fighting or they don't want to fight. So I'm probably gonna have to rebuild again.
When you say rebuild, would you not change weight?
I would, but again,
Would you go up? Would you go up in weight?
I couldn't go down. I've done it before.
No, you can't go down, man. You'd be a stick. Like,
And
the
build
wife
like
would
a
leave you.
fucking
Like,
long
the wife would leave you.
She'd leave me.
Tell her to get out of my DMs anyway.
I have a bone to pick with her. That's right.
I watched your documentary. The one you did in Asquelga.
Did you watch it?
Years ago, yeah. It was
That was
years
good,
ago.
wasn't it?
Was your wife pregnant at the time?
She was pregnant.
Your son is the bulb off you, like.
He's 4 now, and he's
good crack, isn't he?
He's good crack.
He's good crack.
He is. Everyone loves him.
Yeah, he's a nice kid. He looks like you.
Everyone wants me to make like a social
Yeah.
media page for him. I was like,
He's
get the
good
fuck.
crack. There's
I know.
sometimes you get a kid. Listen, he could be quids in, like. You know what I mean? If your son took up boxing, how would you feel?
I want him to,
Would you? Yeah.
just for discipline. I don't want him to do it as a.
If you're not thought
that's
about
a job,
disciplining him yourself as part of your job as a parent, no?
I didn't. I know.
You're a boxer and your son, you've no discipline with your child.
I know. I can't discipline him. He just doesn't listen to a word I say. And
Kids, don't it?
And then there's a fine line now. You can't just slap kids in
I know.
public. But
No,
he
you
needs
can't,
sometimes
yeah.
he needs a slap.
Do you like to slap his bum or something? you know what I like? I'll slap your. Do you threaten them?
You threaten him.
When I was growing up, I was getting threatened.
And you left the hand the yes, but they know you're not going to hit them.
I get the whole classic Irish one, the Irish mammy one, which everyone knows about, is you wait until your father comes home.
That's what I used to get, and I used to
You know
shit
what I mean?
myself.
Yeah.
It doesn't work no more. The kids aren't afraid of their fathers no more.
No, they have some
They
sort
don't
of
even know, half of them in West
have a
Belfast don't know
helpline.
where their father is.
Yeah, they have a helpline ready on their phone.
I know. Here I know.
I'm
a
feeling
fella.
very insecure.
No, hang on a phone.
No, you can't hit kids. Just to clarify that.
Well,
but all good, yeah.
okay. You're a very busy man anyway these days.
Man, yeah.
I haven't seen you in ages. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while.
Didn't you come to the arena with Shane?
I did. You were brilliant.
Thank
You
you.
were very good.
Just say that again.
You were very good.
Thank you.
Very
Just
good.
keep saying that again.
Maybe next time you'll be the main.
I'm actually going to be hopefully doing an arena soon.
Like, because
Yeah.
I feel when I was in the crowd, like obviously, do you know the difference? What I really enjoyed about the that arena show, for boxing, it beats empty until like the last 2 fights, whereas the arena was just packed out from the get go.
Yeah.
No one left their seats to go get drinks. Everyone's just started watching.
Yeah.
And I feel like the support was there from the beginning for everyone. Yourself, William, Shane, everyone. We all got the same support. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
It's brilliant. I mean, like, I started the comedy in England, and like, don't get me wrong, you know, I still go over there. I'm over there most of February, really, now at the weekends doing all my shows. I probably do more shows outside of Ireland.
Yeah.
I probably do more shows in the UK over in England and Scotland than I do in this whole island. Like.
Do you prefer it?
Well, you see, I started over there, so I have a lot of my bases over there still. Now, obviously, I live over here and do the radio on Q Radio in the mornings. I have to. The Q Radio kind of allows me not to take on certain work because I'm committed to the radio. You see, so it's a strange one. I mean, you gotta have a fine line of being too available as a comedian as well. I think, like, for example, I've sold out the Opera House this week. And I think I could have put a second one on, but I thought against it. And it wasn't that because I'm trying to, let's just put it on and take much money as we can. It's not about that. It's about saying, look, I'm only going to do one, and that's it.
There's more demand then.
Yeah, it's like it's also about like and I want to go off then and take a good break and then write the next show because I still think I have my best show in me. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you might think you've your best fight in you. Like,
it's all hairy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you might think like, I've got the best is still to come from me. Like, I'm getting more streetwise with every fight. Like, with every tour I do, like, the more I'm getting more experience. And, like, you know, I've been doing this 18 years. Like, and I've been doing this a long time.
There has to be an arena show in you very soon now. Like.
Well, I think there is. Yeah, I think it's coming. But I also, somebody said to me, would you do an arena show? Would you do 3 or 4 opera houses? And I was like, I'd actually prefer the opera houses because I like gigging.
Yeah.
If I do it in an arena, it's over in one night. Whereas I actually like doing it.
Yeah.
So, I've got 4 of these this week. This is brilliant. Whereas I've only got 1, and if you don't get it right.
Do you think the audience is different between UK and here? And
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like, I mean, I think people who come from working class cities, working class places are always like. And when I say the working class, I mean, I don't really know really what I mean by that, but I'm talking about like Liverpool, Glasgow,
Belfast,
Dublin, like fucking really, like the people
there's
are
a lot of
just
similarities,
brilliant, like,
and wit, and like in terms of like how we even speak and what we find funny. I believe it's like similar.
And like, I come from a background, you know, I did minimum wage jobs most of my life until I became a full-time comedian. And like, there's times when you start off doing comedy, like you do a boxing, like, you know, I think my first 2 years of comedy, I was, after doing it, I was $8,000 in debt. And people are like, what are you doing? I go, I think I can get it right. You got to invest in yourself as well. Like, you know, with boxing, like, you're paying for training camps.
I'm just throwing the tango, fuck it.
When you're,
I'd freak out.
Yeah, no, but like, you know, when you starting out, like, you need sponsors. You're asking people. I sponsored Emmett Core there. He's an MMA cage fighter, right? The Core brothers. I went up to the Caged Gladiators up in North Belfast there a few months ago, and I sponsored them, you know, for training camp or whatever.
It's a big help.
Yeah, and then the fuckers were in holiday then the following week, and I went, who fucking paid for that? No, but they were nice kids, and I can understand because I've seen it when I was starting out, and I think boxing is a much more difficult environment when you're starting out than comedy is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like with comedy, you just turn up, and you know, with you guys, you have to.
I think like the thing is with boxing, you have to be coming from a big pedigree already.
Yeah.
Before you turn professional to have half a chance.
Where do you get that pedigree?
Amateur. A successful amateur career, like.
But didn't Frampton not have an amazing amateur career?
He had a good amateur career until a certain point. He won, like, he was an international boxer, put it that way, which means he represented Ireland, and he was very likely to go to the Olympics. He was good enough to go to the Olympics. So Barry McGuigan obviously seen this in him and approached him before he got the opportunity to go to the Olympics. Sold him the dream, turned him professional, and in fairness to the McGuigans, I know they're fucking snakes and all the rest because they stole money on the fella, like, and a lot of other fighters, but they managed his career fucking unreal, like his management from each fight and the progress he made over that, like, and then they made him a superstar because of the TV backing they had from Channel 5. They were able to navigate.
You got to be managed correctly as well.
You have to be managed
and you have to
correctly.
pick the ref. It's so complicated, and it must be so frustrating. Must be the most frustrating. Who thought fighting would be so frustrating?
I'm interrupting this show to tell you about my sponsors, JFH Social, where you can get your haircut across 4 locations in the north: Newcastle, Lisburn Road, Ormo Road, and coming to you very soon at the Dabney's Complex, Finicky Road. Also, that praise guy doing great charity work across the world. Fantastic prizes at stake on their social media pages. Check them out. That prize guy. You know, that's what I says to my missus. I'm gonna get the child a dartboard. See, watching Luke Littler, that kid's eating fucking kebabs and just throwing darts.
Yeah.
That's the way to go. Like,
Well,
we're getting biced up for fucking years and years. I wasn't born like this. You know
just
what I mean?
Just get the child to go, throw it.
Yeah. It's what fucking harder.
Yeah. My nephew,
Holds over the
I had quite a proud moment last week. My nephew's 14. He captained Cork City against Bows. He's in the Cork City Soccer Academy. Brilliant. And last year he was at Melwood playing Liverpool. He went to Carrington. He went to Etihad campus playing Man City. Unreal. Aston Villa, Birmingham, Preston. What an experience for a 14-year-old to play all those teams in one season, right? And he's really talented. He's a really good goalkeeper. And he's training 6 days a week, 3 days with his club, and then he does private coaching one-to-one with a UEFA coach and all this, right? And I said to my brother the other day, like I said, how's he getting on? He said, great. And then my brother just went to be like, where did we go wrong? Like, your man's walking around in sliders and a wash bag and he's only 14.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, and I think it comes from the environment and the parents, and you pushing the parents. And were you pushed? Like, how did you get into it? Like, are you from a fighting background?
My brothers, my father boxed, my uncles boxed.
Yeah.
My two older brothers boxed, and they were good at it. They were Irish champions, and then obviously just followed. And my Holy Trinity Boxing Club is like probably about 500 meters from my house. Do you know what I mean?
So it was normal.
It was normal. I was getting into it regardless. Like, it was just something I always wanted to do, and then it wasn't until I was like 17, like 16 maybe, I started winning loads, and it was like it near enough became. I was going away and doing like training camps, away for a week doing a training camp with like the Irish team when I was 16, and I was like, this is what I want to do. This is better than working.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I wanted to box. Yeah. And then I just kept winning. And then
Brilliant.
Here we are.
I want to ask you a question about boxing. This whole beef that you have, I think it's fake beef. Most fighters have, to sell a fight. You see it like, I'm going to smash you and I'm going to smash you that. And they're throwing chairs around and water at each other. And then you have the fight, and then afterwards they're eating pizza in the dressing room. Like,
yeah.
What have you ever had real beef, or is this a little bit of pantomime? How does it work? Because I'd love a boxer to stand up at a press conference when, say, if I was fighting you, Sean, for example, I'd say, oh, what are you going to do to your opponent, Sean McComb? I go, actually, I think Sean's a very nice man. He's a very family man. I don't know much about him, but he seems like a lovely man. He's a professional boxer. I highly respect him, and I look forward to trying to beat him, and he's going to try and beat me. And afterwards, I'd actually respect that more than the whole, I'm going to knock you out. I'm like, mate, fucking
it's
shut
all
up.
balls, like, to be honest.
Yeah, like how fake is it? How fake is all that?
People have different personalities, and I think like a lot of it's like heated, like with an exchange of words. When someone says I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and they're like defending themselves and going, you're not gonna do fuck all. Like, a lot of it's real, but a lot of it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Because I fought an old stablemate of mine, Sam Maxwell, last December in the Odyssey, and we had sparred and trained together. We lived together in Glasgow for like 2 years. And he's a really nice fella, and I was like, Sam's a brilliant fella, and I think I'm going to beat him because we sparred loads of rounds. Spars were like, you would pay to watch the spars, they were that good. But fighting's different than sparring. You haven't got the big headgears, big gloves. You haven't got that protection. You've got a smaller ring. You haven't got a big crowd watching. It's all different.
Different type of adrenaline.
And I went, he's a great fella, and but I'm going to beat him. And that's what I believe, and I'm sure he's coming here believing he's going to beat me too, but that's just the way it is.
And what was it like after the fight?
After the fight was sound, like, he just come over to me and he was like, fuck me, I knew it was like, he was like, you're just fucking a nightmare for anyone to fight.
Yeah. What was your beef like with Barboza? What did you say to him before the fight?
Nothing. I don't talk shit. I know what I'm there to do. He said he was calling out the winner of, he was calling out Davin Haney if Frank Garcia failed the fight because his head wasn't right, he was saying. And I says, you're taking your eye off what you're here to do. I'm here to beat you, and you're looking at demons. So I know where your head's at. You're beat already. And he was like, yeah, we'll see. I says, yeah, well, we'll see. And he won.
Yeah, but if you watch it back.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
I remember going back to the corner, and Pete Taylor was in my corner, and he was like, fuck, brilliant. And this was like the 7th free round. He's like, you haven't been hit. You haven't been hit at all. And I was like, I've won. All I need to do now is win. Like, just survive these next 2 or 3 rounds, and I'm home and dry. And then when they called it a split decision, I was like, a split? One judge had it to me 98, 92, which means I won.
That's a big gap.
It's a big fucking gap. Like. And then the other judge had 96, 94 to him. And then another judge had 97, 93 to him. I was like, what the fuck? Not right. It's like, how does this even happen?
Yeah, that's not
like,
right.
And people were saying to me after, like I'll stand by you, I'll do you the world of good, like I'll give you a massive platform now, I'll give you like I'll get you bigger fights and all. It hasn't. It's done the complete opposite.
Is it because nobody wants to fight you?
Just a banana skin. I've lost my ranking. I was in the top 10. I was like ranked 6 in the world at that stage. And I've lost that. I'm completely out of the top 10 now.
Can you not ring up Eddie Hearn and go, Eddie, come on?
I did. Eddie Hearn came in to change me after. And he was like, you won that fight. Like, you know you won that. I was like, I know. He's like, we'll do something in Belfast with Lewis Crocker. And we're talking about going to Belfast, putting a show in Belfast. We'll potentially work like it's something there. And he hasn't. He's completely just fucking blanked me. But from a business side of things, Eddie Hearn wants to put on good 50-50 fights. I'm willing to fight anyone. And he knows that, but he can't get anyone to fight me. Do you know what I mean? So
Jesus.
It's like...
That's tough going, is it?
It's tough going. So, as I said to you before, I'm probably going to rebuild.
What's the wife like with that? Like when you can't get a fight? Is she delighted or is she pissed off that you're not out of the house?
She's glad that I'm home. Like, she's glad that I'm home and I'm doing my own
But
thing.
you're not worried then about the future, like, of like, how am I going to pay my bills?
Oh, I've got a gym, like. I've got the gym.
Yeah.
I know, but it doesn't pay the same as boxing. Like, obviously,
yeah.
Boxing's my main. Like, that was my main income. But... There's still a good 2 years. I mean, like I don't get hit much, like so.
Be like Tyrone McKenna, retire, not retire, retire, not retire.
Yeah,
fucking
I wouldn't do that. I think when I'm done, I'm done. I'll just say I'm finished.
Yeah. Do you know what I think you'd be very good at? Commentary.
It's commentary
in the studio.
I've done it
in the studio.
I done one show in Dublin there.
And the Zan or something like that. Zan Sports.
Yeah, the Zan, but my accent's too thick.
Your accent's fine, man.
You understand me, but you're up here a lot.
Yeah, Frampton's good at it. We've had Frampton in on the radio, and I asked him, could I touch his back? I wanted to see the muscle in his back. I was touching his back. It's a fucking wall. It's literally a wall.
He's solid. He's a solid man, like, for such a short guy.
Do you guys, obviously, I know you all know each other, like comedians all know each other, like, but is there, like, I suppose it's in any job, but like sometimes you just look at some fella and you're like, you're a fucking dick.
There's loads.
There's loads of them, isn't there?
Conor McGregor's a dick.
Yeah, oh.
Like,
see him at Trump the other day.
He's fucking everywhere. Like, there wasn't one representative from Ireland. And Conor McGregor's there. Like, not one political representative from Ireland was invited to Trump being elected. And Conor McGregor's here fucking running around shaking hands with everyone in Washington. And he's fucking nuts.
It's kind of like sad because he could have been the guy that he obviously did really well for himself when he started out. Bit of a loudmouth. Obviously, I understand that's like the fight game and all that. And then there seemed to be a bit of a turn where he probably, won a couple of fights, big fights, and then it was coming up to, he threw a gate at a bus or something. There was a couple of assaults, punched a guy in a pub in Dublin, and then it just seemed to spiral. Whereas actually he could have retired and gone, right, keep my mouth shut, promote the game, open some community centres, become man of the people. That kind of thing, use what he is amazing stuff that he's done for his life to bring back down into maybe communities that need a bit more support and stuff like that. Now it's like no one wants to even talk.
I still think he sort of half does a wee bit of like work, like charity work, maybe helps a wee bit, but he's just. I've never been in his company, but I don't think I would like to be in his company.
I know someone.
He would put me on edge. Yeah. I would be on serious edge. Like,
would you not? Would you not do the MMA?
No
UFC?
way. Fuck that.
Have you tried it?
No. It's not for me.
Why not?
It's just there's too many disciplines. Boxing's like hard enough as it is to master boxing on its own. And I said this before on a podcast. I think I'm too good at boxing to go into another sport. Do you know what I mean? I've put my whole life into boxing. I feel like if I wasn't good enough, but it was like Conor McGregor wasn't good enough to be a boxer. So he maybe used boxing to steer into MMA.
Yeah.
And that's okay, like, because he obviously was very, very good at MMA, but for me, I just feel like I'm too good of a boxer to go into another sport, another combat sport, because then I have to learn a whole lot of other disciplines.
Yeah, somebody put me, I went in and did a bit of acting. It's one of the worst things I've ever done.
It's fucking horrible. See when someone holds you and you're just laying on the floor and there's nothing you can do? What the it's like...
I don't know what, just lick their ear. I don't know what do you do.
You're probably better off doing that. You'd be.
There's a comedian in England called Andy Askins. He's got a great joke. He goes, he says, I've given up the cage fighting. This guy's about 50, skinny, scrawny, like IT kind of guy, right? He goes, given up the cage fighting. too many rules. He said, just can't go at them anymore. You know, he's just like, too many rules. Sick of it.
There is. Do you know, like, do you know what I only found out as well? When people are like wrestling, see if you hold on to the cage, you lose points.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
A wee bit of support, like, you just holding on so you can't fucking...
It's mad. It's crazy, man.
But it's definitely a fucking harder sport, I feel, in boxing, like, in terms of, like, how often do they... No, I always ask this, but I know because they've got friends who are in the sport, but how do they dictate which days they're going to do which sport? Like, how do they do the, like, one day they do like Muay Thai or boxing day, like a striking day they call it, and then the wrestling, and then the grappling, and like how do you learn all this in a week? Plus you have to do your cardio work, which is running or
Conditioning,
some form of conditioning, and you do your strength work,
Your diet,
your diet,
drugs testing, your ego has to be stroked,
Yeah,
your Instagram has to be published.
Do you know what I mean?
You know
There's
what I
only
mean?
so many hours in one day.
Oh,
like,
fucking,
you know?
I don't know. People fall off a cliff when they're retired as well because their body is so used to this adrenaline high and stuff like that. I mean, like when I come off stage sometimes, I can be a fucking nightmare. I could have a great show. I'm like, as soon as I get in, I'm like, wired.
Yeah.
Endorphins, boom, out. And my partner's like, yeah, right. I'm like, yeah. I'm just thinking about that. I should have said this and shouldn't have said that. My energy wasn't great on that joke and all that. And she's like, okay, you coming to bed? I'm like, oh no, I'm up like,
that's it.
I'm up
The
like,
adrenaline's
I'm up
high,
for an
like-
hour. I'm up for an hour.
Yeah, you need to wind down.
You need to wind down, like, you know what I mean?
Like Tommy McCarthy went into like comedy.
Yeah.
That was probably a good move, like for him to keep, because obviously when you retire, it's like you miss that adrenaline. Now he hasn't retired; he's back boxing, but like you must miss that, you know.
Yeah, well, like, do you know what? When the pandemic was on, I mean, I don't know about you, like, when the pandemic was on, we weren't able to do comedy. I was actually okay because I had no FOMO, obviously, because nobody else was doing it.
Yeah.
And it was actually really nice to get a bit of a break. And to kind of like see, like, oh, where is this actually kind of going? And then what happens? You were getting an adrenaline then because you had to create other stuff. You know, like you had to go online. We were doing Zoom calls. Everybody fucking started a podcast or
Bingo.
Instagram Live. Hey guys, just checking in. Well, check out you dick, because I'm not listening to this shit. I want to let you know how you can grow your business exponentially. You fucking snake oil salesman. Hey guys, just checking in. Fuck off. Sick of this shit. I understand people do all that stuff on Instagram, but like there comes a point where, do you ever like see someone on Instagram or TikTok and you go, do they not have a family that could have a word there? Like there must be a family member that go, here, pull you up there for a second. You know this crying you do? Can you just call off on the crying? Because what you're saying isn't right. Like
It's fucking. I have one person, right, who continuously messages me on Instagram, looking me to grow my audience, and they can help me, and they can let me just do one free call with you, and I can explain everything, and I will put my and I mean this is person I have messaged back once.
But
And
hey,
she
but they're in the
continuously-
art of sales. Never give up, guys.
Never give
when
up.
you get knocked down, even if they don't reply, it's still not a no.
It's still not
That's
a
the
no.
mentality. Do you ever see the guys on TikTok? There was a guy on TikTok. Oh, he was an amazing American guy, and he goes, "I get out of bed at 3:30. I read. I read at double speed." Do you ever see him? I read at double speed. Then me and my wife, we go on a treadmill. We walk backwards uphill. And then I drink 16 gallons of water. And then I bang my head against the wall. And I tell myself I'm great. And then I take 75 different vitamins. And then at 7 o'clock, we get the children out of bed. And we bang their heads against the wall. And then everything's amazing. And then blah, blah, blah. By 9 o'clock, I've just made £1 million. Sign up for more. I'm like,
They're fucking
narcissists. Oh,
that's the
like,
best way to describe them. They're fucking.
do you think Bill Gates is getting out of bed at 3 a.m? He's in bed till fucking 9. He always was.
I know,
Like
always
all
was.
this bullshit about
100%.
getting out of bed. Like I get out of bed at 4. What time do you go to bed at? 6 p.m. It's the same difference.
know,
You're just
same
moving the
difference,
time.
moving
You
the time,
fucker.
you fucking-
You're just moving the time.
I know people do it like, oh, I want to get a head start in my day. Dude, you fuck off. Stick your seals up your hole. I have no interest. I know what I'll be doing at fucking 4 a.m. I'll be lying scratching my Henry Halls.
I would just be look. I just find it. But I was looking into these guys. There was a lot of documentaries in England about these people, right? And I'm actually into researching them now at the moment, right? So one thing I've noticed about them, a lot of them, not all of them, but some of them, especially the ones in America, a lot of them have very dodgy pasts.
Yeah.
And it's like they're overcompensating now to make up for their past, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Secondly, as well, is they sell a vision and an idea. But very hard to get that under consumer law. Because they say, well, if you didn't do that, then that's not going to
yeah,
work.
'cause it
Like, so
doesn't
it's very loose.
Yeah.
Like there's a self-help guru in England. He wrote 4 books on confidence. And I just went, why did you have to write 4? Surely the first
one should be enough.
Gave you enough confidence.
But he wants to make more money, obviously.
And then he wrote another book about like I can make you sleep better, and then the next one is I can make you sleep more positively. I said, what the fuck? How many times are you just regurgitating the same shit? But what they do is they get vulnerable people who are in need of an answer for a problem, and they suck you in, and that's where they get you.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, you know, I would take advice off an electrician or a hairdresser who trained, worked for a company, went out on their own, opened up a salon or got a van, hired 3 apprentices, and now has 60 staff, has national contracts. They don't have any social media. They just know how to grow a business.
Yeah.
They're the people you should be talking to, not fucking people in rented cars and fucking rented dodgy watches and all that.
I seen a thing. There's like PT coaches are the same, obviously, in that industry of having a gym. But these fellas now are on fucking. There's this fella, he's calling out these mentors who are based in Belfast. He's calling them out, saying you're fucking like, and there's like PT wars. They're like slabbering back and forward on social media.
Yeah.
And he's saying using animated messages. You're saying like you're going to go. People have went bankrupt. People have literally went fucking. They're almost lost houses and shit over this mentor. Signing up to him and paying him like fucking £1,500 a month. He's promising them like the moon and stars, but like you say, well, he's just gonna say, well, you just didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't do this, and this is why. How come I've made fucking like $1 million in 12 months? I've went from earning 100k to $1 million in 12 months because you've just fucking told everyone lies. Yeah. And now he's being called out for it. And
I think I know that one. I've heard that one.
Yeah, so it's there's a wee bit of beef now.
Yeah, but also is you got to be very careful. Like if somebody comes up to you and goes, "I can make you happy. I can make you rich." I always go by the mantra of life is you show, you don't tell, right? So I would never tell you if you meet someone out tomorrow, Sean, and they go up to you, "Hi, Sean, my name's Andrew, and I'm a really nice guy." If someone ever tells you what they are, they're fucking dangerous.
They need to tell you.
They are fucking dangerous people. Instead, I will show you that I if I think I'm a nice guy by my actions over time, by meeting you socially, hanging out with you, and you
help the girl lift the pram on the way in. First time
can you just tell your audience that, please?
Now we were coming in first time Ballyclare, right? And a girl was coming into the coffee shop. She needed a hand lifting the pram up the 2 sets of steps. Andrew, being the gentleman he is, lifted the pram. My first reaction was, nice guy.
Did I put that on Instagram? No. Did I put that on Instagram? I didn't need to put it on Instagram.
It's like the people who go around the city centre and give a homeless guy money and record it.
Yeah.
Look what I'm doing.
I know.
I'm such a nice guy. I'm giving this guy a banana. Yeah. Whoa.
I hate that.
I hate it.
Hate all that. But yeah, it's good that they get kind of called out because they're selling vagueness.
Yeah.
And people are just getting sucked into it.
People are at the vision. Do
you know all the businesses that were created in the last 50 years, in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, and in the early 2000s, all of those happened without Instagram or TikTok.
Without social media.
So you can still do it, like.
Yeah, of course.
So people, set up, whatever it is, a marketing company in the 1990s. Like people think you can't be successful unless you sign up to this or you have these social medias. I know plenty of businesses out there. Word of mouth is more important than a fucking Instagram reel.
100%.
People need to just calm down.
People are using TikTok now almost like a Google. I do it.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of it. Like when I was going to New York, I was typing in things to do in New York. And it's all the same
I
shit.
understand that. Yeah, but
it's the same itinerary.
But it's also a visual answer as well. So if they're saying go to Hyde Park, go to Central Park, and you see the visual of it's a lovely park and blah blah. Okay, I can totally get that because you're getting the visual. Whereas if you type it into Google, you might just see a picture where you can see like top 5 things to do in New York.
And
Number 1,
food blogging. You actually get to see what it looks like. The food people, because you may think something's a 10 out of 10. Oh, I got spaghetti bolognese and fucking Carlitos. It was the best pasta I've ever had.
I know what you mean.
And
yeah,
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Was there fish in that pasta? Yeah. See, I don't like fish, so I maybe get something else. But if I can go on and search it on TikTok, I can see what it looks like, and I go, "Wow, it actually looks fucking great. I'm gonna try there."
Yeah, I don't mind people doing that kind of stuff. Like, do you ever go down rabbit holes online where I type in like best pub fights? And you just see fellas getting beat the shit out of them.
You see my brother in the middle of it. RD, fuck me.
I see someone. Do you ever type in Russian road rage?
They're fucking mad.
Mate,
the Russians are the maddest people.
I'd be sitting there for hours, like typing in instant karma videos, and it's just people like cutting each other up on the road, and next thing they get out of the car and the other guy has a fucking gun and the other guy's like, okay, yeah, fair enough.
People shoot. People just... There's been a few instances I've seen where people just... America are just fucking shooting people.
Yeah. Have you ever had any shit out in public because of who you are?
Sometimes, like...
People try and think, oh, you think you're a boxer, I'll fucking knock you out. Like,
some people have, like, yeah, but I always turn it into a joke, like. I was like, fuck's sake, you couldn't hit water if you fell off a boat, and it'll just... and it'll mess about, sort of. People are like, oh. And then people try and tell you what you should have done, or this is it. I'm like, fuck off.
I get that with comedy as well. Do you know, I was doing a gig recently, and I was hosting the show, right? And this woman came up to me and she goes, can I just say I've been to a couple of the nights you do? And I was like, oh, brilliant. Because and all the comedians are really good. And I went out. She goes, have you thought about like doing it yourself?
Fuck's sake.
It's because you're just the host.
Yeah.
And I went,
excuse me?
what? Like,
so,
do you know? Like,
it's so insulting. It's like,
what thing are we fucking doing? Not only that, I'm making it up as I go along. That's even...
It's even harder.
And so I went back on stage, and after that happened, and I told the crowd that I pointed to the woman. I said, like, she's a lovely woman, like, but, and I just went, thanks very much, I'll give it advice. Do you know what I'll do? I think I'll even though I'm in the middle of the tour, sorry about that. You know, like, it was just like, that's like me coming up to you going, listen, I watched your Babos and find out what I think you should have done. Can you imagine that? Like,
I know, fucking the worst thing ever.
Like, stop.
It's the worst thing ever.
I'd just be like, I don't know anything about boxing other than I'm just a generic sport fan. So like, I watched Fury Usyk #2 there, and my girlfriend said to me, watch the thing, and I said I think Usyk has it, but I think it'll be very, very tight, and it wasn't very tight.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't have the knowledge of boxing. Do you know what I mean? That a lot of it's more technical, and judges are looking at different stuff that I'm looking at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
that's it. If you don't know anything about something, you shouldn't. Like, you obviously have your own opinion on what you think, but you don't need to fucking... Yeah. You don't need to tell people this is what it is. Like,
but people in the audience are mad. I was once doing a gig in England, and after the gig, someone came up to me and said, why do you pretend you're Irish? This woman thought I was putting on an Irish accent. And I just went, I don't know, love, fuck it.
I don't know, mate.
mate. I'm from Essex, mate.
Yeah, fuck me, like,
just think of a character act.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, people are just fucking... The best one I ever had was somebody said to me, hi, I see your show is sold out. Is there any chance I can get 2 tickets?
I get that on the day of my fight.
Yeah.
On the day, I'm in the changing room and I get messages from people I know.
Hey mate, you fighting today? Question mark.
What
the fuck have I been advertising for a year?
I know. Have you any tickets or lad? Have you 2 tickets? I look at my phone and I'm like, these for real? 2 tickets? I've been selling tickets for the last 7 or 8 weeks.
Yeah.
What, like?
The best one for a comedian is you could be like, had a great time tonight in Dublin, and then the following day, hey mate, any chance you're coming to Dublin? I was just there yesterday.
I'm only back.
I've literally been advertising this for 9 months.
People are fucking, like, surely they see it as well.
I don't know.
Like, surely they see it. They have to see it. Because, like, when I say people are texting me for 2 tickets, it's people I know. It's people who come from my area.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Where have you been?
Yeah. Or, do you ever get someone come up to you in a bar that you haven't seen for a while? Still doing the boxing?
Still boxing? I get that all the time.
Yeah. Just watch me there on Sky Sports.
Do you know what I'm getting now more than ever? What is it, like, sort of, you're not retired, are you? You're going to give it another go? I go, what do you mean I'm going to give it another go?
I'm in it.
I'm still, of course I am. Oh, you're still at it? Obviously, just can't fucking fight.
You don't fight every day.
I know, like, I train every day.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, fuck, you're going to give it another go, aren't you?
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to give it another go, like, fuck's sake.
Mortgage,
I haven't gone away, you know.
But it is nice that people do take an interest in what you do, and it is nice that people will come and stuff like that, but there's sometimes you kind of go like, how do you get through life if you can't organise?
Yeah, I can't keep up.
Like, someone says to me, I remember once someone said to me, what time does the show start? And I said, it starts at 8 o'clock. I go, what time are you on stage? And I went, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Okay, but is that the support act on stage? I went, no, I'm on at 8 o'clock. Oh, so we weren't planning to get there for 8 o'clock. Okay, well, you'll miss the first half. Can you not go on at 9? Because we have dinner booked.
Just suit you.
Oh, yeah. I just fucking...
Fuck everyone else.
Sorry. I am sorry I fucked your dinner up. It was on the ticket. The day you booked it, the fucking time.
Yep, 100%.
I am sorry. people are.
We're not going on the name, folks. I'm sorry. Sit and watch fuck
It's
all for an hour
unbelievable,
till
isn't
these two people finish their dinner.
I'm
And then
so
we're
we
good to
can't
go.
do the show because she's a pescatarian, and we all know what they're like after a glass of wine, driving their fucking Range Rovers and their loveless marriages.
Fuck me.
Fucking whores.
You'll be getting hate mail. There's
Only joking.
hate mail incoming.
I get a load of hate anyway, so don't bother me. Like, do you get much hate?
Some people write stuff to me like on TikTok more than anything.
TikTok's brilliant
TikTok's
for it, though.
brilliant. I like it.
The best thing to do on TikTok, I think, is engage with them. I invite them out for coffee. Yeah. So if someone says to me, "When's the comedy starting?" One day I went, it'll be starting once I'm finished in your mum's house, or something like that, right? And then I thought, oh, that's not really nice, it's so shit, like.
No, but it's so shit. It's good.
Yeah, and then like I what I do is so I remember put up a clip, and you might get stuff like this, go like, I'm doing these jokes, whatever, like, and the audience is laughing, obviously, and then somebody goes, "This is so not funny," and then I go, "I agree. As you can see, I'm not laughing in the video, but the audience are. If you can pick it up at them all individually, can you let me know how you get on?"
Yeah, exactly.
Like all stuff like that, like, you know what I mean?
Like people don't. What? It's the same thing as like why even voice your opinion?
I don't mind it really because, like, see, everything is subjective.
Yeah,
it's like music. Like, you might like different bands than I like. That doesn't mean the band that. Say if I don't like the band. Say for example you like fucking Coldplay or something, and I go, look, Coldplay are obviously a very successful band, one of the biggest bands in the world, unbelievable live shows. They're not for me. That doesn't mean Coldplay are shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That just means it's not my taste.
Exactly.
There's loads of comedians out there that I love. There's a guy in Scotland, and he does stand-up comedy. He does 20 minutes about how to turn on his oven. And I think it is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But I was at a gig one night and half the crowd were disgusted. They couldn't jump on. They couldn't get to
process the.
He was so slow, and he was like, "Yeah, turn the knob." Geez, I don't know now. Maybe 200 now. And it's the style, and it's the deadpan, and his timing, and half the crowd was screaming with laugh because they got it.
Yeah, they got it.
They got what he was doing. The other half were going, "We don't get this."
Yeah.
And I go, that's the beauty of comedy. You either go for it or you don't.
Yeah.
And you find what you like and you stick to what you like. And I find what I like, and you find what you like and you stick to what you like. But there's people out there who don't understand that.
Yeah, but that's
you know what I mean?
That's why you grow an audience. That like your style of comedy.
You find your crowd.
You find your audience, your avatar.
Yeah.
Is like what you people who are interested in your comedy. Like your comedy and Shane's comedy are very different. William's comedy is very different.
Yeah.
And you're on the same show, so like to find like an audience to suit everyone.
Never going to happen.
Equally as funny. It's just it's not going to happen.
My favorite one I always get a lot is like, do you know my favorite comedian? I'm like, yeah, who? Roy Chubby Brown. He's got. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. And do you know what? Do you know what happened to me recently in Belfast? I was in a bar in Belfast, and this guy come up to me and he goes, "Can I tell you a racist joke?" She said to me, and I went, "Stop." My girlfriend was there, and I said, "Stop. No, you're not telling me a racist joke." And I said, "That's not cool, and I don't think you should be going around doing that." And he went, and then he just did the joke, but he changed it to Paddy Irishman. And I just went. So I walked away and went home. I just went, I'm not fucking being around this guy.
Hang home.
He goes, I'll just change it. He goes, I'll just change it to Paddy Irishman then. And I went, you cannot go around doing that. I said, I don't do jokes. I don't do that. Like, that's like old school. It's like 60s, 70s.
You don't even like comedians don't do jokes. It's like it's a story. It's a
tell a story. And it's a performance.
Story,
it's a conversation like with people. Like, you know what I mean?
It's fucking.
It is baffling. I think the funniest thing I ever saw when I talk about solo, I was at a gig in Dublin, right? I went to see a friend of mine, and the show was starting at 8 o'clock or something like that. And I arrive anyway, and my friend, there's two people doing the box office, at the front. They just go in, write tickets. And I'm standing at the door chatting away. And I'd been in the room, but I've come out, and this guy arrives, right? Probably 28, 29, with a girl. And he comes up, and the girl is at the door, and he says, "Hiya, how's it going?" She's like, "Hiya." And she's got the list of, the tickets, all the names on the tickets, right? And he goes, "Hiya, can I get 2 tickets?" And the girl went, "Oh, right, have you booked?" And he went, No. And she goes, "I'm sold out." And he went, "What do you mean?" Right? And she went, "It's sold out. It's sold out.
No
it actually sold out 2 days ago. It's just people who've booked for it." And he went, "But I only want 2." And I started to, my blood, I'm going to have to come in here. Like, I was like, well, if there was two, it wouldn't be fucking sold out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I that was just about to come out of the mouth, right? He couldn't deal with the concept.
I can't process it.
So she said, like, yeah, I'm sorry. But, you know, and she picks up a flyer and she went, but, you know, we've got a show next week and we've got another show this week. And he goes, but can we not just go in, like? And she went, no, like we don't have any seats, and she actually said, like, we will go over our fire safety. Like, everybody is here. Like, there's still people, and there's people still behind them then, and they had to come around, and they were checked in. And he just stood there, and I remember him looking over at you one going, what do you mean? Like, and he came up and going, but, like, we'll just go over there. And he goes, you know, somebody's sitting there. Yeah. You can't just go, because, but how is it supposed to be, because how is it sold out? And then she just went, people bought tickets.
That's so simple.
He was on a date with the girl, and obviously he was trying to say, I'll get us in.
I'll get us in.
And I was just standing there like this going, I just went, give me 5 minutes swim in the car park. Like, how, but you know what? He will go out that night, and everything was that girl's fault.
Yep.
It was never his fault to broke the ticket. And there's people in life that I fucking love those people. I follow them around. I love listening to them because I go, that's your fault.
It's your fault.
That's your fault.
It's your fault.
There's like these people out there, they're like professional victims. They're just victims.
People are just victim mentality.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Like,
yeah, everyone's just a victim.
Nothing goes right.
Nothing goes right. Oh, they're always a victim.
Always a victim.
I love those people because they'll never be happy.
They'll never be happy.
You know?
You should write a book.
Yeah. You will never be happy.
How to be
by
happy.
Andrew Ryan. Forward by Sean McComb. I am Sean McComb. After reading this book, I left my wife and child, and I now live in Colombia. Like, you know,
smuggling coffee beans for Abode Coffee Shop.
Abode Coffee Shop in Ballyclare. Follow for more. Sign up to my course. How you can be a coffee smuggler.
Photo of me on the front, all happy.
Yeah, you know. So like, is there a lot of roided up guys in boxing?
Full of it. I would say every world champion.
How are they getting past it?
There's cycles, you know, like I would say 95% of world champions would be juiced up. Like,
are you actually juiced? Joking me?
100%. Honest to God. I would say it's just riddled with fuck. I would say, nah, it's better. You're better just allowing it and just seeing who does it the best at this stage, honest to God. Like, but like Canelo was caught. And he said, oh, it was meat contamination. Yeah. So he got away with it. Yeah. And they're saying, meat contamination? So who the fuck gives
a bag of coke and a steak?
Till a fucking, who gives a cow steroids?
Yeah.
Why the fuck would a cow need steroids? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't even make sense because it was steroids. It was like performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah. It
wasn't a bag of coke. You'd be alright if you took a bag of coke.
I watched Man United Brighton there recently. I think the whole Brighton team was on drugs. The way they were pressing.
Nothing to do with how shit United are.
How can United we can't.
You beat Arsenal.
Penalties.
Drew
at Liverpool.
Still you beat City this year.
Yeah,
and then you see the thing is with Man United, they have faith, but they don't have a system of play. They're fucking shit. When it comes to the average team, there's no faith in them.
I was actually upset after the game, and my girlfriend came in and she went, what's wrong with you? And I went, I'm just a bit upset. And she went, oh, like, how are you feeling? Or, like, what's going on? And I just went, no, I'm upset with Man United losing 3-1. And she went, fucking shut up. She walked out and she was like, fuck God.
You must be, like, you would just be upset for the full year because they're just...
I had a season ticket to United for 5 years. I used to live in Manchester. I used to live 20-minute walk from Old Trafford. And, oh, man, some of the greatest days, like Louis Saha, Tevez, Ronaldo, Nani, Michael Carrick coming, Alan Smith when he played with us. Things like Phil Bardsley, Wes Brown.
That was a good, like,
Ferdinand Vidic, Louis Saha.
But see, when you think about
unbelievable days, man.
See the players that they have, but they had then, they were all average, good team players. Like, now they're bringing in, like, even when they brought Pogba back, like, superstar individuals, doesn't work. Cause, like,
well, who proved that? Leicester City proved that in 2016. This is my.
Nottingham Forest are fucking proving it.
There you go. There you go.
So
this is my assessment of soccer at the moment now, right? As somebody who's grown up, I mean, I have 4 sports in my life, right? Golf, hurling, rugby. I mostly follow Irish rugby. I dip into Munster and Ulster and keep an eye on all that. Hurling, I'll only follow Cork. soccer, Man United, and stuff, right? So what I do is, and I don't know, is it linked? Is there a link into boxing as well, right? How can you motivate a 23, 24-year-old who's on, say, 50, 70, 80 grand a week, who's got the best clothes, lovely house, nice car, the best doctors, the best physios, the best nutrition, the best looking partners, after 2 or 3 years in the Premier League, probably enough to retire anyway.
Yeah.
You know, how do you motivate those people? And I think you can only really motivate them emotionally. And there's managers that come along every so often that can get that. Jose Mourinho's first term at Chelsea, John Terry said that he would run through a brick wall for him. Jurgen Klopp. I look at Jurgen Klopp when I was a United fan, I'm thinking I would have played for that man. You know, I would have loved him at Man United, right? Because Fergie, you even have, who else is there? Pep Guardiola. They transcend, they're managers that can transcend the money in the game and they can connect with a player, right? Yeah. So is Ruben Amorim going to be one of these guys where he's come in mid-season, he realised this squad of players is not good enough for the way I want this club to play. So I need to make decisions to see what their capabilities are. I need to get rid of 6 or 7 of them and I need to bring in as many as I can. Now, unfortunately, we've no money because we've been mismanaged for years by the Glaziers. We're under financial fair play regulations of what we can sell. So we're going to have to sell local players. So Rashford could go. There's questions over Mainu. Garnacho could go. Lindelof is going to go. Eriksen's going to go. Casemiro has to go. There's questions over Xerxes. Hoyland is probably a reserves team striker for a couple of years. He needs a year on loan. We're putting so much pressure on us. So what does Ruben Amorim have to do? You do not need world-class players. What you need is players that you can connect with. And I think if you can connect with players emotionally and get them to work for you more than the badge, you might have ever had a coach in your life where you turn up and you love this coach so much that you'll go, I'm going to win this fight for that coach, not for me. I'm not going to win it for me. I'm going to win it for them. You don't want to disappoint them. So how do you do that? And I think like managers, there's only one of those managers or two of those managers come every 5-10 years.
Fergie was obviously a
Fergie
master.
was the main, and
he was
like
just management.
Mourinho, when Mourinho was in his pump,
Yeah.
And I know the game moves on. Pep Guardiola maybe this season made a few mistakes by the time because he didn't buy some players, and he maybe found out this year, and you never know what's going to happen. But what can Ruben Amorim do? And I don't know what the answers are because I'm not a football guy. Yeah. But is there a link to that in boxing where you would fight for other people than yourself because they invested in you, or you know what I mean? Because like if you're fighting for a big purse,
I think
you know what I mean. Like how does that?
My coach now at the minute, I would say like, like my amateur coach growing up as well, Mickey Hawkins, was the same. They know your capabilities, and when you're not living up to your capabilities, you're not performing to the level or the standard that you can perform at. They let you know, like they're like, fuck me, like come on, like you're better than that. You need a fucking like, and then you feel disappointed. Yeah. No, you know what I mean? Like it's like, right, fuck, like you don't want to disappoint a coach who you have a good relationship with. You don't want to ruin that relationship. So you're like, right, okay. So I'm sort of like at that minute, but I believe it's a big thing in terms of you don't need to be a genius. You can have all these technicalities and trying to do this, trying to do that, but like if you don't like the person, you're like you don't like how they put it across to you, it's like fuck off. Like, so I believe like
you've got to have the right person to communicate correctly to you. Like.
You need to have someone to fucking who has like a bond with you, and I think like Pep Guardiola has it definitely, because you see Pep Guardiola, even what he just sells players if they don't want to be here. Like if they say I don't want to be here, he just says right, you can go. He doesn't make you feel like no, I need you. I feel like you need to just wipe a good fucking 70% of that team out, like, and keep a couple, and you can tell who they are from their performances on the pitch.
But it's like if you, the way I kind of like look at stuff like that is it's like if you look at Leicester and what they achieved, it's not about having world class players, it's about having a work ethic and a unity and a belief system, and that only comes with people who are all together in the right attitude. Fergie used to always say he loved buying players from working class backgrounds because they grew up with nothing. They're hungry and they grew up with nothing. And your dad was a fucking painter, or your mum was a care worker or a dinner lady or something like that. And he said they're the ones that you can really.
There's something inside them. It's like,
and I think a lot of them now are just like fuck it, like you know what I mean. The heart is gone. Like
you see, Rodri plays for Man City.
Yeah,
he drives like a fucking Corsa. Yeah, he lives in student halls. Doesn't have any social media at all. reads. He's still doing a. I think he may be doing a degree now at the minute as well, and like, I don't know, some sort of doctor.
Brilliant.
So he's like, no social media. He drives like a Corsa, and he just wears normal like training clothes that Man City give him. He doesn't buy flash anything. Doesn't have any watches. No jewelry.
But is he happy though?
That's it. I know.
I actually said this to one of my mates recently about like I would get rid of 6 or 7 players in January, just release them. I just promote the under 23 squad,
Yeah.
the under 19 squad.
Appreciate
I just
that.
push them all in. Just say, do you know what?
Can't
Fuck
get any
it.
worse
We've
anyway.
enough points to stay up.
Yep.
Fucking in you go, right? And all the kids need to start cleaning fucking the senior players' boots again.
Yep.
This stuff is all stopped again. Go in and clean the dressing rooms. Do all that stuff. Get back to, you know, this. It's
It has to
it's
be
a
rules in
privilege
place.
to be doing what you're doing.
It's a like it's there should
Football
be rules
needs
in
to
place.
become a privilege again. You know?
Egos. See the egos in football now because of the money and the fucking.
But who's responsible for money? We are, man.
Yeah, of course.
We fucking caused
Getting
it
paid too much money.
because we're paying the dodgy box guy. We are. I fully subscribe legally, by the way, just so you know. Who's gonna grasp me up? Touts out.
Ballyclare, big
Fuck
fucking.
Ballyclare, you fucking mad gang.
You have to go now.
I'm
You're
alright,
on,
well,
you're
I'm
on
alright.
Shane Todd's. Do you know what? I thought I was on it today as well. So when you text me saying
I'm
I'd
not
be
on today.
Oh, why not? You said you'd be in Hollywood at 12.
Yeah, I've got a meeting in Hollywood. Well, it's about
wow.
10 past. I'm meeting my financial accountant guy because I got my tax bill, you see.
Oh, did you? Fuck, it's to be paid on the 31st
Tell
of
you,
January.
if you hear about a bank robbery in Belfast next week, it wasn't me anyway, all right? All £300 I have to pay.
That's because you take cash payments.
No, cash is... And I declare the cash as well. Keep it in circulation.
Cash is king.
No, I'm good. I'm fine. I can finish up whenever you want.
No,
It's
because
not
I seen you when you said to me you have to be in
no, I'm fine. Well,
Hollywood for 12. I was like, fuck, he must be.
No,
doing
you're all right,
Shane's
you're all right, you're
podcast.
all
And I was like, I'm on Shane's podcast as well.
what time are you on it?
So I texted Shane saying I can do 12 because I was getting the young fella picked up from school, young lad. And Shane was like, no, I mean, I meant Monday week. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's good because we'll be talking
I'm in
for
next
an hour.
Monday as well.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're not,
Next Monday with Shane.
Not 12, are you?
11.
11 hour because he told me that
It's like a fucking... Doing a podcast for Shane's like queuing up for Bonnie Blue.
You know?
It's just one after another. Like,
Did you see that? Fuck me, 1,000 people she slept with.
Jesus, I'd say
That's insane.
Imagine being 999.
That's been 1,000. Someone was proudly holding a sign of 1,000. Like, all biz.
I don't
balaclava.
understand that. Like, I saw a few clips and I'm not, you know, like a typical bloke. I read up on it, like, but
That's fucking
there's
insane.
something. I don't know. I find that very empowering for a woman if that's what she wants to do. It's absolutely none of my business. But also, it's kind of like the long-term effects of that, you know, might not hit for a few years, you know? I don't know.
I wonder if there's any psychological damage because she wanted to do it.
Well,
But like
well-
later on in life, like, or surely she must go, what the fuck?
Imagine if she goes out when she's 50, she goes for a meal and number 28 and 37 are sitting at the next table. She's like, how are you, lads?
Oh, well, lads.
Lads, did you get that thing cleared up? Did you?
Fuck me. Her date must
What
be,
do you get? 5 minutes with her, is it?
Fuck me. I don't know what you get, but to go to 1,000, that's...
I must sign up and go and have a look at the next one.
I seen a photo of her lying on the floor and there's just condoms everywhere.
Really?
And I was like, what the fuck is this going on? Like, surely, like you were saying about the sales guys, surely there's someone, like a relative who steps in and says, right, not today.
Bonnie. Just
Bonnie,
800.
surely she has
Come
a-
on. Just
yeah.
800 will do.
Where's her relatives? Where's her fucking close relatives to step in and say, what the
Well,
fuck are you doing?
maybe she's on her own and she's isolated. I don't know. Like, imagine being her brother in the pub.
Jesus Christ.
How's your sister? Yeah, she's busy.
We can tell, folks.
But how do you sign up to it?
I know.
I'm not asking to sign up to it. I'm just curious.
Fuck, I know.
How do you, like, how does it work?
I seen that you put up like a video saying, or sends a location, and then people just queue up. That's what I seen.
Fucking hell. But isn't there another girl doing it as well? There's like a couple of them, isn't there?
Fuck me. Like where? There must be some serious damage down there, like
Imagine
internal.
Yeah.
Internal damage, like fuck me.
Oh,
That's insane.
I listen. I wouldn't know anything about that, but did she get paid for it? Did they pay? Do you pay for it?
I don't know. I'd imagine so.
Can you imagine her going into the GP now, like, Well, why'd you get up to the weekend?
The GP could just the GP should turn her away, and it's probably like Kate said, like I don't know, like she wouldn't go private, would she?
I don't.
She would have to go private.
I don't know. I find it very odd.
It's just strange times in the world.
It is very strange, you know what I mean? And it's only going to get stranger because your man's fucking back now in America, like, so.
I know.
He's a fucking rocket, like.
Really roost. He thanked
God or something.
Elon Musk. Oh my God. He thanked Elon Musk for winning Pennsylvania. So Elon Musk and him are.
It's amazing, isn't it? That like not
and he banned America banned TikTok. Do you know this? For 14 hours, it's back.
Yeah.
A lot of people make a lot of money off TikTok.
Yeah,
so
but like,
just banned that.
I love how like in 2020 when Biden got elected, it was all like fraud, voter fraud. Now Trump got elected, not one. Voter fraud was resolved. Yeah. Biden obviously fixed the voter fraud, so it goes to show that basically, like, you know, it's all
America is just fucking nuts.
Yeah, but he's only got 4 more years left, and then he's gone forever. So we're coming to the end of it now. But then it'll be someone else.
Yeah,
there'll be another guy,
another lunatic,
or another woman that'll come in, make America great again. Make America great again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So like,
I'm great.
We've banned the news in our house now. We don't put the news on anymore.
I don't watch the news.
But at the end of the day, America voted for this. They chose this. Yeah. So it's none of my business.
Why
it's not my country. Like they can fucking do what they want.
I have mates. We're in a group chat and they fucking love Trump, and I'm like, why? You don't even. Why? What the fuck does Trump being elected do for you and our country?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Because it gives all convicted criminals hope.
Yeah. Well,
they can get
some of them are criminals, so that explains that one.
Yeah.
I've just got me answer.
You know, the guy is all well, if he can do it, okay, I was in for GBH and assault, but listen, I've got some really good forward-thinking ideas about climate change.
Yeah.
Shut up.
So that explains that.
But the thing is, I look at it and go, America know what they're getting with him. They voted for him. So best of luck to America.
Best of luck.
You get what you want, and I'm delighted you have him. Enjoy it. I hope he does really well for you, but we're in for a wild ride.
I was in Florida in 2017, November 2017, and he was elected for the first time. The place was going fucking bananas, celebrating. They love him in Florida. And I mean proper grown men. These big finger things you wave at the basketball games. Trump number one. And I was like, what the fuck? You're 58 years of age. Sit down. Relax. Calm down.
Yeah.
Fucking.
What's he going to do for them, though? It's America's too big a country to have massive impact. Like the president of America, I mean, I know you can sign executive orders, but realistically, like, you know, I suppose he has the House and the Senate as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he probably can do quite a bit. Like, yeah. But anyway, I've always loved the World War.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
What do you think of all the films that are going to be made afterwards? There's a lot of work going around for actors and stuff like that after Trump now.
And then we can, once we're older, we can say, oh, you could never have lived through our times.
Oh, listen to this. Kids. Your son, right? Your son. Imagine this when your son's 25. You can look at your son and go, right, son, and pretend there was no internet. Pretend no internet never existed, right? And you turn around to your son when he's 21 and says, son, 9/11, right? Thierry Henry handball, right?
That's a big one.
That's a big one, right? Thierry Henry handball. Pandemic, Donald Trump, Israel, war in Europe, fucking Fergie leaving United, right? And you sat down and you explained all Brexit. You explained all the events to your kid, and there was no internet. And you said, then we had a pandemic. We had to queue up to go to the shop. We couldn't leave the house for this.
I wasn't there when he was born.
I wasn't even there when you were born. I can guarantee you, if there was no internet, majority of people wouldn't believe you.
I know. It's fucked up.
Can you imagine
if there was no, like, if you couldn't search that?
If you couldn't search, they wouldn't believe you.
They wouldn't believe you.
They wouldn't believe you. Say, look, we couldn't leave the house in 2020 for whatever. They were like, fuck off. No, and you go, prove it. I can't, but it did happen.
It did happen.
But the fact that we have the internet now.
Yeah.
Like, people wouldn't believe what's gone on in the last 20 years.
And it's definitely getting worse. It's going to get worse.
Oh, it is going to get worse.
Because if this shit's happened in this is only 5 years from, like, the pandemic has been, like, world crisis is repeatedly happening every single year.
Yeah.
And it has
the crisis always been happening, but we've access to much more footage and news now. There you go. Like, for example, there's been a war in South Sudan for years, but no one ever talks about that. Do you know why? Because there's no money there.
It's crazy.
Do you see what I mean?
North Korea.
They're fucking... I don't mind the lads. They're nice lads.
They're alright. They're not on
Don't ever
lockdown.
slag them off because
Full-time
they
lockdown.
fucking. Do you know what I mean?
Nuts.
But yeah, I look forward to Trump now. I'm
see
not a
what
fan
happens.
of him,
To
but
see what
to see what happens. Like,
Yeah, see what happens.
There's people in the south that are going around going like, "Make Ireland great again." Now, there's actually people are copying his format. There's the guy in Argentina. There's the Italian leader. The Spanish, the Germans are far right. Are coming back in Germany.
Right, yep.
It's fucking scary.
They're fucking. I know.
I don't know, but then again, maybe the leaders who are centre and centre left need to be better leaders for everybody. Rather, that's what's causing extremism. Anyway, great to be on the Public Nuisance
Thanks for
Podcast.
coming in.
Vote. Vote.
Andrew Ryan.
Vote Alliance.
Number 1 Alliance.
For mediocrity and lack of decision making.
Green Party. That's us. That's a wrap.